how important is Lauri Markkanen to this Jazz team? Because, again, sources from the NBA told me on Monday that the Jazz are absolutely open for business on Jared Vanderbilt. They are not open for business on Lauri Markkanen.
Right.
Jake, is that the right tack to take?
I mean, I think that, yeah, probably. I mean, obviously, I'm going to sit here and say Lauri's better than Vando. No doubt about it. I think nobody doubts that. But to me, I don't know that I would say I'm not open for business on Lauri Markkanen. I think that there'd be nobody I wouldn't be open for business on. But, the ask is going to obviously be significant for a guy like Lauri Markkanen with where this team is at. And I think that, if you want to build around Lauri Markkanen and Colin Sexton, that's great. I have no problem with that. Philosophically speaking, I think that works. I think that that's the right play. But if you said to me, hey, we really want Lauri Markkanen and we're willing to give you, a young, talented wing player that can really be a franchise building block, like that caliber of talent, then obviously I'm going to listen. So I just don't believe that there's ever a time when guys aren't available. I think everyone's available. It's just a matter of how over the top you're willing to be with your value. And so to me, the other factor at play is there's a lot of learning lessons going on in the league as far as not making trades are concerned. We tell you on the show all the time, like, hey, where would the Knicks be if they had made the Don trade and not, been so stubborn about Grimes? Where would you be if the Lakers had, done the bogey deal, right? And not been so selfish about their picks. And so to me, it's like, hey, everyone's available. I do agree that I probably would be stingy with Lauri. 100%. I'd be stingy with him. I would want a big time package in return for Lauri Markkanen. But right now, I think that the goal is probably to build a playoff team around Markkanen and Sexton and Conley. Those three guys, I think, are who you're going to want to build around. And the only reason I say Conley is because of his leadership on the floor. When he plays, they're a better team. When he plays, the pick and roll is better, the passing to the corner is better, and I think Walker Kessler is a better player as far as lobs are concerned. So to me, those are the three guys. Everybody else not named, those three are available, and I'm happy to talk about it. That is how I would be handling this roster and this offseason if I'm Danny and company.
Yeah, and I think there's no doubt that they should trade Jared Vanderbilt. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. I see him as when you project him out, and when you look at what Jared Vanderbilt's highest best use is on this club, my opinion is he will always be a D and occasionally 3 guy, not a 3 and D guy, because he's not somebody at this stage of his career and at this point in development that you can say, hey, he's going to knock down a corner 3 30 to 35% of the time.
Yeah.
He's not going to do that for you. And I think when you look at Jared Vanderbilt, his defense and rebounding, his ability to finish at the rim is really important. But that's not how you win championships in this league. You win championships by playing good defense and hitting threes.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's who Jared Vanderbilt is as a player. He doesn't suck. I'm not saying he's terrible. I'm saying, in my opinion, and in the opinion of Jazzmen and NBA guys I've spoken to, Jared Vanderbilt doesn't project to be on this roster when they win a championship. And if that is truly the case, and if that's what Danny Ainge has evaluated, why would you hang on to him a minute longer than you have to?
Yep.
Because his value is not going to go up. His value is going to go down from here, in my opinion. So if I'm the Utah Jazz, I am going to sell high on Jared Vanderbilt. So, and I do think, by the way, that for a team like Boston, Jared Vanderbilt has a lot of value, right? To a team that is a really good club, like a veteran-laden team like a Golden State, a veteran-laden team that can use somebody who can play defense where I can plug him in for 5 minutes. He's not going to kill me on the floor. That's who Jared Vanderbilt is.
Yeah.
So I think you can move him. And again, the sticking point here, I guess, is the opinion and the developmental arc that you see in certain guys.
Yeah.
So do you see championship developmental arc in a Colin Sexton? I think you do. I think he can be a guy who projects as a second or third option or a number one option off the bench on a championship team. I believe he's a third player on a championship team.
Yeah.
And if Colin Sexton's your third best player, you're golden, right? If Lauri Markkanen is your second best player with Colin as your third player and you have an alpha dog at the 1, now you're in business.
Yes.
Now you're in business. Now you're cooking with gas, right?
Yes.
Right now they don't have that. But I would tell you that I think Lauri Markkanen is critical to this team. Lauri Markkanen is the straw that stirs the drink. And those lapses where we go, whether it's Chicago, any of the games where they've just seen 5, 10, 12-minute stretches where Lauri Markkanen's a zero. He doesn't impact the game. He's just kind of running laps at this point. That's what we've got to figure out how to stop. And I think Will Hardy will stop that. I also think it's critically important we find out, or we get a taste, a tiny taste of the top end on Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Yeah.
Because that trade now looks like a trade where you're like, well, damn, maybe we did turn Jingles into something. Maybe we did, right? I don't know if they did. But if Nickeil Alexander-Walker's your 9, 10, 11 guy off the bench, you're in really good shape.
Well, and I think he can be more than that. I think the 40 minutes he gave you the other night was really good. I mean, 40 minutes, 27 points, shot the ball at an efficient rate. Like, that's the kind of guy he's got to be regularly to get minutes. And I think that Nickeil Alexander-Walker on a championship team, is definitely a top-end bench contributor. No doubt about it. I would never start him on a championship team. But to me, he can be part of that second unit that is gonna spell your starters to begin a quarter, or like he's a bridge guy, and those are really, really important. Like, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but the guys who play when your starters need a breather are crucial to you winning a championship. So I'm not sitting here saying that being a bench player and filling that role and contributing for probably, for Nickeil on this team, probably 10, 12 minutes at a time. That's probably your window each time you run out there. If you can contribute and you can give me 8 to 10 points in the 10 minutes you're playing, that's great. That's awesome production. And I think that's the kind of development that we need to see. Does he ever start in the league regularly? I don't know. I don't know. He's too young. His offensive game needs a lot of work. If he somehow develops, if he can become a guy that's got a good enough handle to beat someone one-on-one, and like he can become more of an individual scorer, he probably can push a starting lineup. But right now, I think he's extremely valuable coming off the bench.
Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting to see how all of this plays out. How many of these guys are back on the hardwood tonight? Obviously, Sexton's not going to be back. But if you can get Markkanen, Conley, and JC back into this lineup on a regular basis, I think you're in good shape, because let's not forget the NBA opens for business on Thursday.
Yeah.
The 15th is the first day that you can trade those new contracts you signed over the summer.
Yeah.
So this is coming. We're coming into a really important stretch. Mike Conley's got to be healthy, because I think he's a guy, frankly, that has value around the league now. I think there are a lot of executives who are surprised at the way that Mike Conley is playing. One NBA guy I talked to the other day was saying that Mike is a guy that he could see being plugged in on multiple teams. He's a guy that can fill a gap for you. He's on an expiring contract. There's real value in that. And if you can put Mike Conley, like one of the teams, again, that I think would have huge interest in Mike is the New York Knicks. They need that veteran presence that they don't currently have. Jalen Brunson, while he has been, I think, as advertised for the New York Knicks, would certainly flourish under the tutelage of a guy like a Mike Conley.
Yeah.
Right? Those situations, I think, are of value to the New York Knicks. I don't know that the relationship exists between Danny Ainge, frankly, and the Knicks front office to get that deal done. Leon Rose is a red ass over the Donovan Mitchell trade that didn't happen. And I understand that. But if business is to be done and Mike Conley's available, I do think the Knicks would pick up that deal. Absolutely. I also think the Mavericks and the Lakers are two places that I would watch. The other thing that's very interesting right now around the NBA is, what are the LA Lakers going to do? Because I don't think there's any doubt now that they are going to make deals. I just don't see any way around that. I hear it too often in text and phone call conversations that the Lakers know that they are a flawed roster. Now, if you didn't know that in the summer, clearly they did. If you didn't know that in the summer, that'd be shocking, right? But I think the Kyrie Irving scandal really hurt the Lakers' desire to make trades aggressively.
Yeah.
I think he's off their radar, frankly. I'd be really surprised if Jeannie Buss in the LA community that has a really strong Jewish population would be open for business on Kyrie Irving. I'd be really surprised by that.
Yeah.
But I do think that they would be open for business on trading Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook. I think Anthony Davis is the guy that they'd be open for. I would also remind you, you've seen Laker executives at Bronny James's games now. You've seen NBA scouts, NBA executives routinely going to games where LeBron's kids are playing, because Bronny's a nice player. Bryce James is now 6'6". He's a high school sophomore at 6'6". You want those guys in your fold. And LeBron James is not valuable necessarily for what he's doing now, Jake, but I think the relationship has to stay intact because Bryce James looks like a monster, dude.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that this has been the end game for Bron for a while. He wants to play a season with his kids, I think, and I think that's why you're hearing the rumors about playing until I'm 45 and then retiring, because then he can get one, if not 2 seasons, with his kids, and I think that really matters to him. And I think, the Lakers just got to get on with it.
Yes.
Like, unfortunately, that's how you have to word it. It's time to get on with it, man. Like, I'm tired of, hey, one more season with AD, one more season, like, you have to get on. Anthony Davis won a championship for you. It's time to move on. He's a one-and-done guy who's going to be an injury-prone player the rest of his career, and that's okay. Not every guy is ironclad like Bron or Michael or Kobe or, not every guy is like that.
That's right.
So to me, it's a fool me once, fool me twice thing, and I think that it's time to move him, and once you move him, you can get on with life because you're going to get picks back for him. And I think don't be surprised if they go and get Bogdanovich from Detroit because they've been after him for a long time. Like, the Lakers need to do some things.
Yep. Jake Gordon says, yes, Utah Jazz time. Brett Burnett says, Greg's right about water. Drink good, clean water and feel better and save money. Don't disagree with that. He also says, praise up for the Jazz. Depth is always important. It is. Absolutely. Eminem says, my high school coach, Clark Massey at Cordova High School in Rancho Cordova, California. What's up, Sacto? Had a major impact on my life. Glad to hear that. Jake Gordon says, Vando picked it up as of late, but Lauri has been more consistent, and that's what the Jazz need. And I don't think they're similar at all. I don't think you compare those two. That's just my opinion. I just don't see similarities in that at all. Brett Burnett says, hard to trade like the Jazz did offseason because teams can't collect extra players and hold the Jazz like the Jazz did all summer long before having to trim the roster. Yeah, I mean, I think the art of building rosters for long-term success is definitely lost in the NBA. And I think what you as Jazz fans should be very thankful for is that the Jazz are not Oklahoma City, who's in a constant state of rebuilding.
Right.
That's not what this team's trying to do. And I think I go back to that Danny Ainge comment, and I don't know how many people remember this. Listen to this comment by Danny Ainge.
The reality is we've had 16 years of, it's better than mediocrity for sure at times in the last 16 years, but at the same time, it really hasn't been championship caliber basketball. And 16 years without getting past the second round of the playoffs, I think is not what any of us want. And so the change is just, okay, here we are with veteran team, had been all in on this veteran team. I think Dennis Lindsey has done a fantastic job in this organization, as did Quinn Snyder. And but I just think we're starting over.
Dude, they dropped the Fire Red 9 early. I'm just going to put the phone away.
Yeah.
That's Danny Ainge, Utah Jazz basketball CEO. I mean, you hear him say 16 years of mediocrity.
Yeah.
Like, let that resonate with you. 16 years of mediocrity.
Yep.
Man, he's not here for the Oklahoma City model. He's not. And, you have an interesting comparison in the New Orleans Pelicans coming in tonight. -2, 234 is the number on that game. Like, you're looking at a team that built through trades and Zion Williamson in the draft. Like, you look at the way that Anthony Davis trade transformed this franchise and gave them, now, granted, Lonzo Ball's in Chicago without a knee. Josh Hart's wearing Portland, I guess. You look around the league and you look at what Brandon Ingram means to that franchise. I mean, it's a significant deal. The Jazz are going to have to make that kind of Anthony Davis, Brandon Ingram transformative trade.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go and get an alpha male number one, which Zion has not been for them, by the way. I don't think you get that alpha male in the draft. I think you got to go and trade for or throw a ton of money at somebody. Like, that's what it's going to take.
Yeah.
That is absolutely what it's going to take. I don't even know who those guys are. I mean, obviously, KD is not available in Brooklyn. By the way, you going to give it up for me or what?
What?
Okay, that came out wrong. The Brooklyn Nets are very good. You shut your mouth with that hate and that
we'll see,
spewing of
sure,
garbage that
listen,
you drop on my Brooklyn Nets.
I'm sure that Adam Silver will be thrilled to hand Kyrie Irving the NBA championship trophy if they were to win it.
By the way, I said my Brooklyn Nets.
Right, your Brooklyn Nets.
You're
right.
not even gonna. No. Jake is a huge KD guy, as you may know on this show.
Yeah.
But my Bulls are terrible. So what else do I have to hang on to?
Sorry, folks, that's what it is.
I think the Nets are very good.
They are.
Kyrie
Kyrie's
Irving
bounced back. He has.
Kyrie dude. That just the way he's playing the game, not to score, but to make the Brooklyn Nets score, whether it's him or somebody else. The passing to KD last night, the passing to Ben Simmons last night, the handles that he displayed, those finishes in the paint, that he can still play the game.
Yeah, please respect my privacy.
Every time he breaks some dude off in the paint and gets an up and under left to right hand layup in the foul.
Excuse me, it's a lay.
Oh, sorry about that. Every time he gets laid in the paint, I'm a man. It makes him more available in trade. And people stop talking about the Jewish community and they start talking about winning championships. And I think this is the main reason that Kyrie had to come back and play for the Nets.
Yep.
And I think he is very fortunate Joe Sided, the owner of the Nets, did not cut him.
Yeah.
But, dude, there was some action last night on the hardwood. There was some action last night. What?
The hardwood.
The hardwood. Luka Doncic.
Douche.
But, dude, he's balling out. I mean, you can't. You look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander last night, 14 of 23, 13 of 13 from the line, 42 points.
Right.
And lost. And he lost. Because Luka Doncic, 13 of 27, 3 of 10 from 3, 38 points. The guy can't hit a 3 to save his life.
How is that even possible?
38 points. Dinwiddie gave him 20. Timmy gave him 20 as well. They got 12 off the bench from Bullock. I'm warning you now that what I said last year at the trade deadline, Spencer Dinwiddie can still play this game.
You're welcome.
Dude is a stud.
Yep.
I mean, he lifts.
Bucket getter.
He lifts. Look at the biceps. The guy is an absolute stud.
Yep.
And if the Jazz had traded for Spencer Dinwiddie, which they had the opportunity to do and did not, I think Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert are probably still here.
Yep.
But
and
they didn't.
You probably beat Dallas, but you didn't, so you didn't, and now they're not here.
And it sucks.
Have a nice day.
And it sucks because he's really good. He is, man. Let's see. Eric C. says everyone's a huge KD guy. Au contraire. I don't know about that. At all. Let's see. Salty Drunk says, how about Bowler with the swag? What are you referring to? Duck Season says Portland's the best team. Well, if you would pay your $100 bet, maybe they would be the best team. But since you haven't, they're still not the best team.
You fucking donkey.
They're not the best team. They're not. Pay us our $100 you owe us.
Hey, whoa. What? Like update. Where I saw some triple digits here.
We're at 109 likes.
There we go.
Well over
Let's
1,000.
go.
Well over 1,000 views. 109
Let's go.
likes. Come on, if you're here right now, give us a thumbs up. It really helps the show grow. We are trying to get to 9,000 subs by the end of January. So, you don't like those fire red nines?
Not that I don't like them.
You don't like those fire red nines?
Yes,
Are you kidding me?
I like them. Don't have the bread right now, bro. We're not spending money on that right now.
I do, and I'm not going to do it either. But right now, we have 8,439 likes. Subs, excuse me. Man, that'd be awesome to have 8,400 likes on this video. That'd be amazing. 8,439 subs on the show. 117 likes. Let's keep liking the thing. If we get to 9,000 subs by the end of the month, which is very doable, we're averaging 30-plus subs a day.
Which is what we need to.
And we need to average about 31 subscribers a day on this show to get to 9,000. If we get to 9,000, we are going to take you plus one to a Jazz game with Jake and I.
Yeah.
We're going to do it in a black car. We're going to walk right into the Jazz team store. We're going to buy you a custom jersey if that's what you want. Now, I'm telling you to get one of the black New Note sweatshirts. I think they're the nicest piece of merch in that store. And they're going to trade everybody who's on the roster now. So I would tell you not to get a jersey.
That's what it is.
I just,
Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, don't be an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Freak. Anyway, I don't know. It doesn't matter, I guess. Brett Burnett says Portland not the best team, but certainly improved the roster and just needing to stay healthy if they want a chance.
Anthony Simons.
They're just playing games.
Yeah.
They're just playing games, so they're getting better. And Dame, again, the other day with the wrist
Dame
tap.
Dame time.
How'd that work out?
Dame time.
Luis Capazzo says Nets are choke city. Don't you speak in those terms. You can if you want. I don't really care. Brett says Nets need a losing season along with the Sixers, Rockets, and Wolves.
Well, the Wolves are going to get it.
The Wolves are interesting. The Wolves are interesting. By the way, how about my guy?
Here we go.
How about James Harden?
Yeah. What about him?
Is James Harden any good?
What about him?
I would point out without Tyrese Maxey in the lineup, they're over 500. They dropped 131 points the other night. 131 points.
100.
And James Harden had 19. But the guy had 16 dimes. 16 dimes.
Oh, my God, just like that. Oh.
Let's go. They get Tyrese Maxey back.
Okay, are you about to throw a bless up on the show now?
Bless up. 16 dimes. And Joe had 53 points. 16 dimes. They had 31 assists as a team. He had 16 of them.
Yeah.
By the way, he threw in 9 rebounds and 1 block, and he only had 4 turnovers.
Yeah. Nice game.
I'm just telling you, man.
Nice game.
But he's been doing that.
Let me see it in the postseason, dude. That's all I have to say.
We're not in the postseason
Well,
yet.
but
you got to get to the
again,
postseason first,
dude. Neat.
You're such a cock.
Yeah, I am.
Why?
The guy hasn't won a damn thing.
Right, I get that. I'm not talking about him winning a championship. I'm talking about James Harden being back. He ain't Zion Fatass anymore. He's actually James with the handle. Well, he was. He was. Am I wrong?
First team all fat ass.
I'm telling you. I am telling you. First team all fat ass. Absolutely. James Harden was on that train, dude.
Buddy wanted out of Houston so bad, dude.
He ate his way to Philadelphia. To Brooklyn, really. Right? But anyway, you look at Portland last night. Again, I just say Rudy Gobert, 16 points and 20 boards, and they lost by 21.
Nice game.
He had 16 points and 20 boards.
Jazz fans, does that seem familiar?
How many blocks did he have? How about a big fat 0? How about a big fat 0? And I'd remind you, they got heavily out-rebounded last night, 37 to 54. He was a -9 at 16 points and 20 boards.
It's not a winner.
And again,
decide if you win or lose.
Doesn't mean he's not an impactful player, Rudy Gobert. It doesn't mean that Rudy's not an impactful player.
I'm a man.
What it means is he's not the guy that's going to win you a championship. Can he be on a championship team? Sure, so can I. Can he be the best player on a championship team? Hell no. He can't.
Yeah.
And the biggest issue is, why did he have a big night? They shot 27 three-pointers.
Yeah.
Right? And on the whole, though, you know what kills them? That they shoot 52% from the free throw stripe. 10 of 19.
That's it.
They're not a good basketball team. It's not even that Rudy Gobert is awkward. I just like saying his name that way. Don't at me, bro.
Hey, do you know that that's not how you say his name, actually?
And it's not Bojan. Did you guys know that?
Did you guys know that?
You should do some homework before you get on YouTube and espouse greatness. And you guys are just hacks.
Bojan.
You guys are his name is not
Bojan Bogdanovic.
We used to joke about Bojan Bogdanovich's name.
Right.
And people are like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. You guys know his name is not Bojan, right?
Gonzaga.
Right? I mean,
Gonzaga.
You know that it's not Gonzaga, right?
I have a degree. I went there. It's Gonzaga.
I paid my tuition, you jerk.
There was a girl that lit me up for the Gonzaga thing. She DM'd me on Instagram and just lit my ass up.
Gonzaga.
I paid tuition there. You're an asshole.
Gonzaga.
I paid my millions of dollars to become an archaeologist on the ocean floor.
You fucking donkey.
And I work now. The point is, I work in a pizza joint, but
Gonzaga.
I'm so far in debt to Gonzaga, and it insults me that you would say Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
Oh my God, dude.
We went through a drive-through the other day, and I said to the girl, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be an archaeologist. And I was like, well, how are you going to pay your bills? I don't know. That's why I work at this place.
Yes.
It's the day we spent like $1 million at Taco Bell.
Yeah, and then I felt awful for like
crapped
3
himself
days.
for 2 days.
Yeah.
But the girl at Taco Bell was like, I want to be an archaeologist. And I don't think she appreciated it. But I said, well, yeah, but how are you going to pay your bills? And she's like, well, I'm going to change my... I said to her, are you in school? Well, I'm taking a semester off because I'm going to change my major. Well, I was majoring in environmental jerking off and stuff. And I was like, dude, because we know somebody that has a degree in like... and the way that I always put this, and if you're somebody that's got like an oceanography or archaeology or whatever.
You want to save the planet.
Right.
Okay.
You are what I call the new Green Deal degree, where you like want to go out and, well, I have a degree in planting trees.
That's right, T.
I don't have a job, but my degree is in planting trees.
Hey, what do you do for a living? I hug trees. I have a master's in it. Like, if you're going to go out and get a degree in like,
Okay, here's how you plant kale at the bottom of the ocean.
if that's your degree, don't say we didn't warn you. Don't say it. Uncle Monty warned you that getting a degree in planting algae at the bottom of the ocean probably ain't a money-making endeavor. And the biggest issue is, and this is what I don't think that, and this is mainly a girl problem, by the way, because usually guys get degrees in having sex. That's what we do, right? But I think girls, it's always a girl who's like, oh, I want to save the planet, so I got a degree in shoveling plastic out of the ocean.
Right.
Where do you work? Starbucks? How much student loan debt do you have?
$38,727, but Uncle Joe's going to forgive it all.
You know.
They're always in debt up to their butthole, and they don't have a way to pay it back because they work at Starbucks because nobody pays people to shovel plastic out of the ocean.
You
did.
donkey.
Right? Like nobody pays for that. So why are you getting a degree in that?
Oh my God, dude. How are we talking about planting algae at the bottom of the ocean?
It's just where it went.
Oh yes,
just-
dude. I need comments. What are the people saying?
It's just where it's at. I don't know. Giggity said, "Good morning, Ruff's official. You got a little Luca on your chin still."
Well done.
Oh, Luis Capazzo says the beard is back. Yes, it is.
Man.
Yes, it is.